your diet, change your life, change the planet.
Enzymes in raw foods. There are a lot of books, a lot of the raw culture and philosophy is all about enzymes in your foods, the living enzymes. And heat destroys them. That is true. Heat does denature and destroy enzymes in the food. No question about that. But the enzymes don't do anything for you anyways. So it doesn't matter if they're destroyed. Because if you understand biochemistry and physiology, enzymes are not just heat sensitive, but they're also sensitive to changes in pH, alkalinity or acidity. So you eat them, and what do they quickly interact with? Hydrochloric acid. The hydrochloric acid in your stomach denatures any enzymes that you've eaten. Just snuffs them out just like heat. So there's no opportunity for them to actually do anything in the body. But I'll keep going, just because some people may still not believe me. We've been told in the raw community that these enzymes are digestive enzymes and they will help us digest food. With the exception of bromelain and papain and papaya and pineapple, with those exceptions, all other plant enzymes do not help us digest food because plants don't have digestive systems. They don't need them. They have photosynthesis. It would be really inefficient for a plant to produce something that it had no use for. Because plants don't want to be eaten. Fruit wants to be eaten, but plants don't. The leaves and the stalks and the stems, they actually have defense mechanisms to stop creatures from eating them. Because you're actually killing the plant when you eat that part. The only part of the plant that you're not killing is the fruit. So plants would have no reason to create digestive enzymes for our benefit if we were killing the plant to get them. And if they did have digestive enzymes, which the law of natural selection just will not allow because they'd be selected out if they had no use, if they were there, none of this food would be possible. Because Elizabeth would spend time making this wonderful brunch for you, the nacho cheese and whatnot, and it would digest itself on the table. And you'd have vomit sitting over there, and you'd be all like, oh my God, what is that smell? Oh, it's raw food, I'm sorry. If there were digestive enzymes in these foods, they would digest themselves. You wouldn't be able to eat them. And they would digest your mouth. Anybody ever eaten a lot of pineapple? Has your mouth broken out and swollen up? Because the enzymes starts to digest your mouth. The main enzyme produced in our stomach is called pepsin. And we actually don't produce it in our stomach. What? Pepsin is designed to digest animal products. That's its sole purpose. So even though I'm a vegan, I will not tell you that we were designed to be herbivores. Pepsin disagrees with that, even though I'm a vegan. Pepsin is there only to digest animal products, connective tissue. It is a wicked enzyme because connective tissue is hard to digest. So we need to start early. We can't wait until it gets down into our intestines. We have to start in the stomach so that by the time that connective tissue has passed through us, we've broken it down. Pepsin is so strong that it would digest your stomach if your stomach actually produced it. So your stomach produces something called pepsinogen, which generates pepsin when it interacts with hydrochloric acid. So it's kind of like a grenade, right? It's safe in my hand when the pin is in there. But as soon as I pull the pin out, I better get the heck away. So the stomach produces a grenade with a pin in it. And then when it interacts with the hydrochloric acid, it takes the pin out and it becomes pepsin. And then watch out. If you don't have proper mucus lining your stomach, the pepsin is going to digest your stomach. It is not friendly to us. So we have to be very careful how we produce it. So plants, the same thing. If they're producing these digestive enzymes, they would also have to find a way to protect themselves against it. But that's even more work for something they don't need to begin with because they have photosynthesis. So, enzymes in raw foods serve one purpose and one purpose only: to provide you with a source of amino acids. Okay? Enzymes are proteins. They're not structural protein, they're not muscle protein, but they are protein. They're protein machines. And when you digest them, break them down, you get their amino acids. If you eat a protein and you don't denature it, it becomes very difficult to digest. Because proteins are like, imagine a long string of beads. Now imagine taking that long string of beads and giving it to a 3-year-old. Is it going to remain a long string of beads? Or is it going to turn into a big knotted clump like seaweed that you find on the beach, those big knots of seaweed? That's what proteins look like. Denaturing a protein, it means you're unraveling the protein. Because a protein, its shape defines its function. The shape of the protein defines what it does. They're like locks and keys. If this protein looks like this and this protein looks like this, they're going to lock together and that will create a reaction. That will make a reaction happen. But as soon as I change this shape or this shape, they no longer work together. But when they're in this shape, I can't digest them because the bonds between the amino acids are all hidden and clumped away in there. So hydrochloric acid in the stomach denatures the protein and it goes and it becomes a string again of amino acids. And now that it's a string, my pepsin can go bunk, 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 and it has access to the bonds and it can easily break the proteins apart into their component amino acids as long as they're denatured. So we actually want to denature protein. It's a problem if you don't. If you have low hydrochloric acid, you're probably not going to be absorbing proteins or amino acids because you're not denaturing them, so you can't get access to the bonds to break them apart.